Good evening! Welcome to tonight's edition of Quiztatorship, a trivia game that lets you deduce the answers by combining general knowledge with logical thinking. As we progress, the questions will be getting increasingly harder, so let's see how far you make it. Okay, question 1. In 2022, what electronics company was responsible for 22.4% of South Korea's gross domestic product? The answer is Samsung. Question 2. What was built to keep people out of China, but is now something that pulls them in? The answer is the Great Wall of China. Question 3. Fill in the blank. The Louvre has a dedicated mailbox for all letters addressed to blank. The answer is the Mona Lisa. Question 4. On the 1st of October 1949, what country became the world's second communist state after the USSR? The answer is China. Question 5. Oh, look at that, another question about Asia. Indonesia has over 150 active what? The answer is volcanoes. Question 6. Kuan Yin or Kwanon is a mythical Buddhist figure that represents mercy. What company was named after her? The answer is Canon. Question 7. There is a photo of a crowd in New York City, taken on the 8th of December 1980. A man is holding a sign with the word Y on it, as well as two peace symbols and a picture of a famous musician. Who is the musician in question? The answer is John Lennon. Question 8. What movie sequel had the tagline, "Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water"? The answer is Jaws 2. Question 9. In southeast England, there is a river called Uck. The nearby signs that say River Uck have a very peculiar shape, with the letters tightly squeezed. Why is that? The answer is obviously to prevent vandalism. Question 10. Complete the following quote by Mark Twain. Adam was but human. This explains it all. He did not want the apple for the apple's sake. He wanted it only because blank. The answer is, it was forbidden. Question 11. In the 1950s, what term was used by Philadelphia's police force to describe the chaos that ensued in the city the day after Thanksgiving that was caused by the large crowds of tourists and shoppers? The answer is Black Friday. Question 12. In July 1991, a lady called Janie Joseph was asked if she would like to model for a photo shoot. She was given a white blue robe and a makeshift torch with a yellow light bulb on top, which she would hold in her right hand. Afterwards, a painting, created based on the photos, became an image instantly recognized by all film fans. What exactly did Miss Joseph pose for? The answer is the new Columbia Pictures logo. Question 13. There is a product called Obiculp that's been available on the market for a while. It is a pill intended for children suffering from minor temporary ailments. How exactly does the pill work? The answer is, if you look at the name carefully, you will see it's placebo spelled backwards. Question 14. Under what conditions are people on average 5 centimeters taller? The answer is in zero gravity. On Earth, gravity affects the spine, but in zero gravity, your spine can extend fully. Question 15. In the olden days, people believed that if an apple tree stopped bearing fruit, all you needed to do was to approach the tree, threaten it, and bury a certain object underneath it. What object was it? The answer is, they would threaten to cut the tree down. To prove the seriousness of their intentions, people would bury an axe under it. Question 16. 25 years after the release of their first record, music artists become eligible for what? The answer is the induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, before we continue with the quiz, I've got a bonus question for you. I'm not going to give you the answer today. Rather, I would ask you to leave a comment and tell me what you think the answer is. By doing so, you would help me a great deal. I'll publish the answer in the next episode of this general knowledge series. And the question is this. In the beginning of the 20th century, one American inventor had registered a number of patents for filmmaking equipment. To avoid having to pay royalties to his cartel, many companies moved to the West Coast. This is why Hollywood, rather than New Jersey, is now the capital of the American film industry. The question is, what was that man's name? And now, back to the game. Question 17. There is a book called Angry White Pyjamas. Can you guess what it is about? The answer is martial arts. Question 18. Before Patrick Stewart was allowed to audition for Star Trek The Next Generation, he had to FedEx something to Hollywood that he had left back in England, because the producers felt he needed it to play the role. What was it? The answer is his toupee. Question 19. After the British actor Dirk Bogarde had become a huge star, you would see posters with his face all over London, including the Underground. One day, he received a phone call from his father, who had been traveling through Charing Cross station. I suppose you realize you have brought the family name down as low as you possibly could, his father said. Bogarde got really upset, but it turned out he had misunderstood his dad. How so? The answer is, Bogarde's father meant it quite literally. In those days, Charing Cross was the deepest underground station on the network. Question 20. A question about Thomas Beecham, who was a famous conductor. One lady asked him to recommend an instrument for her son. She was concerned that if he started learning the violin or the trombone from scratch, the entire house would have to listen to an awful lot of noise. Beecham recommended that the boy try the bagpipe. But why? The answer is because, according to him, the bagpipe sounds exactly the same, whether you're a beginner or a pro. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to hit the like button and let me know how well you did in the comments. It would really help me grow the channel. Thank you for your time and have a peaceful night.